STEP is a community development organisation based in the Mid-Ulster area. We've been in existence since 1997, doing work really around rights-based issues and using that community development framework. In relation to our work around diversity, that has sort of emerged with the increased diversity within the community at local level. STEP and South Tyrone area in which we work saw the first, I suppose, large numbers of inward migration to Northern Ireland, probably going back now 15 years ago with the arrival of the Portuguese community to work in the agri-food sector locally, mainly within some of the local food production factories. And for us that was I suppose a change on the ground in terms of services and being able to support people other than the two traditional host communities. Our work then has expanded from that as the community has grown. The range of services that we deliver changes with that. So we would see our work as developing organically, and we would play a part on the ground by delivering services like advice provision, family support projects, community development initiatives. And then as well as that, we would also work on a strategic level, sitting on a number of strategic forums like the Racial Equality Forum, the Children and Young People Strategic Partnerships at local level, and then up into outcomes-based level and at regional level. So we do a number of things at the same time, as I said, groundwork directly to the community, to families, to children, and then also using that information at strategic level, and I suppose to see ourselves as the conduit between the policy and decision makers and the people who are affected by all of that on the ground. In terms of our work with families and young people, at the present moment we have a 5-year lottery funded family support project working specifically with BME families, including Irish traveller families. And it's called Linking Families and Communities. So in a way that project is delivering services directly to families to support them, one in addressing some of their issues, perhaps in relation to housing or advice or welfare, but then also delivering family parenting support projects, group activities for parents, learning opportunities for the family as a whole, and then social activities for children and then for families to come together. And that project is delivered across the Mid-Ulster area, and we're working then also with young people, and specifically on a Saturday we have a language club working with around about 150 children every Saturday during the school term, aged 7 to 12 years of age, so that's covering over into the transition year in secondary school. The thinking for that is around this sense of belonging and addressing issues around cultural identity for children, helping them to, I suppose, feel confident in being who they are, helping them to maintain a level of competence in their home language so that if at some point in the future they decide to return home to re-enter school, for example, that they have the basics in order to do that around their grammar, their basic curriculum from home. So that's part of the thinking behind that project. But then there's a social interaction element where the children from each of the nationalities will all come together at the latter half of the morning on the Saturday to participate in social sport activities, and then they will also do some work with other community groups, other organisations, field trips, day trips, depending on what the children themselves are requesting. It's children-led piece of work as well.